There's two arguments here, two thoughts. The first thought is, did Travis Scott really know what he was doing? And did he know that this was going to be, because in my opinion, it was a satanic sacrifice, human sacrifice ritual. That's my opinion. Or did he just do this and this happened? Well, let me just say this. One thing that blew my mind, and I did hours of reading, Jenny, reading articles. I read all the news things. I watched all the videos, which I plan to show some of the videos, and I'm not going to, because I had a feeling we were going to have this many people on here, and I thought, I know a lot of these people have kids that are watching, so I will not show any footage. I also don't want to get flagged and taken down while we're live, and it's just purely too graphic to show. You guys, a lot of you have seen it. I wouldn't go watch it because it is graphic, the videos of the concert, but I will say this. Here's what I kept seeing, Jenny, and I get chills every time I say this. Everybody there, these were not Christians, by the way, writing these articles and putting these TikTok stories out. And I watched hours of people interview. People were saying there was a certain point in the concert about, I don't know, it was like 5 to 10 minutes in, where that portal, which the stage was a big portal, when that portal lit up and Travis came out, where all of a sudden it went from calm, everybody was at the festival, to all out. Not only did they say it felt darker, they couldn't breathe. Through over 300 people were hospitalized. People by the hundreds were going into cardiac arrest. And secular people, these are not believers, said they felt spirits coming into them. They felt massive amounts of spirits coming into them. And as Travis was singing, they felt a presence coming into the room. And all of a sudden at once, hundreds of people stopped breathing. People started going into panic. People started having, I wouldn't say visions, but having like, what are they called? You know, where you're on like a drug trip, or you're having, what is it called? Where you, hallucinations. People were hallucinating, seeing things, and people were literally saying they felt demons coming into them. There's 50,000 people at the concert. And so while they said in a certain part of the show, it all was at one time. So it wasn't like throughout the show. It was one moment where he started singing the song and there was like a bass vibration or a bass. It was like a loud, just a bass, like playing like mrrr, all the subs were going off, where these demons were coming into people. And I honestly believe, and I know this is graphic, I really believe that this was a banquet for demons. I believe the 50,000 people there were being feasted on by demonic spirits, and this was an all-out playground for demonic spirits. Now, the crazy part was, we're not some conspiracy people, me or you, Jenny. We don't get into conspiracy videos. We don't even make videos on conspiracies. This is not a conspiracy, y'all. 8 people died from this concert. And this is what saddens me. Their last moments. I mean, you think about, there was a 14-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, a 20-year-old, and their last moments were this demonic ritual concert. There's one video that was extremely graphic where he was on a platform and there was a dead body being surfed through the crowd because they were trying to get the body out, and the body was dead. The body was confirmed dead later. And he was looking at the body, y'all. Listen to what I'm going to say here. Looking at the dead body, and I won't sing the way he was singing it, but he basically was saying, yeah, like along however you would carry out a note, saying, yeah, staring at the dead body as it was gone. Like completely, and this is the world saying this, not even Christians. They said he looked completely demonized. He looked completely like he was in a trance, and he was having everybody, he said, everyone put your hands up, everybody put your hands up, and everyone shout rage. And he was shouting rage, rage, rage over and over, which if anyone knows about Satanism or the Satanic Kingdom, repeating yourself, that's like seances. You repeat over and over, you invoke those demons by saying those things. And this is 50,000 young people. I would say 95% of them having no clue what's going on. And again, I have never watched a video, Jenny, that I could say is as close as you can get to hell. And there was actually a video, I know, again, this is graphic, and there's almost 10,000 people watching, where they were taking videos of them being trampled. So they were under a pile of bodies and they were screaming bloody murder, taking videos and calling the cops. And these are just piles of young people screaming for their lives. Some of them didn't make it out. And I was just thinking, and the concert's going on, and this is happening in America. Like, this is not some ritual in some jungle somewhere. This is in America. I don't even know what state it happened in, but in America happening. And meanwhile, Jenny, me and you have been, for about 2 years, we've been exposing the demonic. We've been preaching on it. We've been talking about it. And people have said, Isaiah and Jenny are crazy. Isaiah and Jenny are too radical. It's no big deal. Yet on a mass scale, we have this satanic ritual. Now, some other things to think about. One, the stage was set up as a portal. Now, tell me that's not spiritual, right? Not only was the stage set up as a portal, literally they were opening demonic portals. And we can go into, like, there was a phoenix, a firebird, that some were saying it was a dove on fire, some were saying it was a raven. There's a lot of speculation there. I think everything that was happening, the stage was an upside down cross, everything was symbolic. But here's the crazy part. As people are dying, okay, so as people are dying in the crowd, all out pandemonium. There was paramedics that were getting stuck by needles that were passing out. People couldn't breathe. Now, think about hundreds of people that saying they couldn't breathe. Now, even people that weren't in the crowd being smashed couldn't breathe. These were demonic spirits choking people, y'all. These were demonic spirits that were suffocating people. But this was happening, people were dying. The literal stage, again, you can look all this up. This is not like us getting a conspiracy, said, "See you on the other side." That was what the stage said. It said, "See you." And then right now my internet's starting to cut out here. The devil's a liar. If you guys get cut out, just refresh it. The devil's a liar. There, we're back on. The flyer for the event, this is what the flyer said. This is still on his Instagram if you guys want to fact check me.
Yes.
It said when the end arrives, it's really just the beginning. Okay, so now you have on stage, "See you on the other side." So tell me this wasn't a setup for a ritual. Then on stage, it said, "See you on the other side." The flyer said when the end arrives, it's really the beginning. He was not only doing chants, he was having people put their hands up. As people were dying, he continued the show, which I don't know how he hasn't been arrested yet. One part, there was dead bodies being lifted out, and he was singing over them, saying, "Yeah." His t-shirt, you guys all probably saw this. His t-shirt was literally people that were blue, like represented people being alive or spirits being alive. They were going through a door. This was his t-shirt, y'all. This was not hidden. This is his t-shirt. And they were going through a door and they were coming out on fire with their heads on fire as red people. So like death to going to hell, crossing through that portal of death into hell. This is all happening. And another thing I want to say, now I want to make a warning here. I am not making this to say, cancel Fortnite, go delete your kids' Fortnite. That's not what this is about. But here's what blew my mind when we're talking about how this is impacting our children. Fortnite, which is the most popular children's game in history, really. He is like, they promote his music. They literally have concerts in Fortnite of Travis Scott. And now they're removing like I think today they removed his emote and they're talking about removing his character. But I was just thinking, Travis Scott is promoted by the biggest kids game in the world, and now you have all these young kids. A 14-year-old was one of the ones that died. I believe a 10-year-old they speculated could have died, but they haven't released that yet because obviously they're only 10. But now you have these little children that are innocent, right? Of course they're there, they like his music, but in essence they're innocent. They're getting brought into this concert, which is a satanic ritual, and some of them lost their lives over this. And then you have parents now that are distraught, that have lost their child, that their kid is not coming home from this concert. And I'm going like, what is the media doing about it? What is law enforcement doing about it? How is this guy not locked up? Open satanic ritual. Apple Music did a exclusive live stream of the event. And guys, share this because we're 200 away from 10,000 tonight, which is absolutely incredible. I would never dream we could hit 10,000, and we're 200 people away from 10,000. But Apple Music, which again, I'm not calling you to cancel Apple Music. I'm not calling you to cancel Fortnite. That's not what this is about. Apple Music did an exclusive sponsorship on this event. Apple Music did. And then all of a sudden now it's this ritual where all this stuff. Now, these are not like, oh, we're connecting all these dots. This is every part of the show, from his mouth being opened. I don't know if you guys saw some of that ancient drawings of like the mouth open going into hell. All the stuff he was doing, he was gaining, I believe, power in the satanic realm. Now, in Satan's kingdom, if you're into that world or you know anything about it, the way you gain power, and I hate to be so graphic here, is sacrificing. And we have John Ramirez on all the time. We know this. Animal sacrifices. John Ramirez used to drink his own blood to get power. He has cuts to this day on his body, on his chest, on his arms, because he would slice himself open and suck his own blood, and that would get him demonic power. And then he would do animal sacrifices. And again, I can't go into other stuff he did, but I'll just say this. Human sacrifices is a real thing, and I don't know if he was fully aware what was happening, but I believe he was to an extent. I believe he was fully aware. Some people could debate and argue that, but I do believe that he was climbing the ranks in the satanic world. We know we can go through celebrity from celebrity to celebrity that have met with Satan, that have signed contracts with Satan. Now, do I believe that it's possible to sell your soul to the devil? I don't believe you can sell it to the devil, but I believe they think they've sold it to the devil, and I believe the devil will give them demonic power, just like happened with Lady Gaga. She said she met the guy in a suit at the outside of a club before she was popular, and he told her, if you sign this contract, I'll give you wealth, I'll give you power, I'll give you a good voice, you'll never age. And she says this in an interview. She signed the contract, she was a nobody, and all of a sudden she became one of the most popular artist there ever was. And you I don't know if you guys remember, like 10, 15 years ago when Lady Gaga was actually popular, she was like the craziest artist because she was doing all this demonic stuff that Travis Scott is doing. But my whole point to say is, this is something openly talked about in the music industry. The devil is working overtime to get us through music, through media. Now, what does that have to do? And we just broke 10,000, praise the Lord. Someone take a screenshot. What does that have to do with you guys? This is what it has to do with you. You guys endorse this by allowing your kids to listen to this. You guys endorse this by getting in your car and listening to this music and debating, saying it's not that big of a deal. You're actually endorsing this demonic spirit. You're endorsing these demonic powers, and you're opening up doors, and you don't get to choose. And here's what I want to say to you guys, and I'll turn it to you, Jenny, because I know I'm hogging it here. But here's what I want to say. When you open those doors, and look how crazy that looks, guys. We just hit officially 10,000 on screen. When you open those doors, you don't get to choose what comes through those doors. So when you open up a door, you don't get to say, I'm going to open up this demonic door and I don't want rage to come through. I don't want anger to come through. I don't want suicide to come through. I don't want bitterness. When you open the door, whatever comes through, comes through. So I'm not saying every time you listen to music, a demon will come in, but is it an open door? Absolutely. This is beyond. And I know there's people already in the chat, because I feel prophetic right now saying, like, it's not that big deal. It's just music. It can't really open a door to demons. Friend, I'm not talking about just some natural thing. I'm talking about what music is in the spiritual realm and the power that music has. And by us endorsing these artists, by us endorsing these things, paying these things, doing these things, we're endorsing this Satanism and this satanic power. And it's crazy, but I will say this, and I want to say, I believe what the enemy meant for bad, God's going to use for good. I believe what the enemy meant for bad, God's going to use to open up the eyes of the church, to open up the eyes of people, to open up the eyes of the world, to make people understand that this is not a joke, this is not a game, this is not no big deal.